Welcome to Spooky News from Spooky Ventures for February 3rd, 2023. We find ourselves in a new month, and it's one that's often associated with things that are decidedly non-spooky. Personally, I'd like to see Valentine's Day turned into second Halloween, but even if we don't do that, I hope you find a way to bring some spooky to the day. After all, for those of us in the spooky tribe, it's always spooky season. And besides, spooky is a lifestyle, not a season anyway. Before we get to the news, I wanted to talk about a few other things. First off, Spooky Ventures, and especially this YouTube channel, are meant to be interactive, so please interact. Like our videos, share them, and comment on them. Please subscribe to the channel too. Next up, if you want more information about any of the stories I talk about, you'll find source URLs in the details section of this video, but you can also hang around after I'm done talking because I will list them all at the end. Getting to the news, we'll start with some a travel story. I'm sure you know how Universal Parks do their haunted attraction approach for Halloween season. Well, they're getting ready to make spooky season year-round in one location. That's because they're going to open a year-round haunted attraction in Las Vegas. Now, the park will focus on bringing many of Universal's film horrors to life, from the classics like Frankenstein, Dracula, and The Creature from the Black Lagoon, to more modern offerings. Now, it will adapt as newer films enter the world of Universal horrors too, so if you go one year, it might be a completely different event, or at least largely different the next year. They have not announced an opening date yet, but it's reported that they will be breaking ground within the next 6 months. With the Universal Films angle of that piece of news, it seems appropriate to move on to horror films from there. I'm going to start with a film that is both science fiction and horror. Warner Brothers has announced that they are going to be remaking the 1954 film Them. Now, that movie, which focuses on giant ants, is actually one of my favorites, so I'm really looking forward to seeing what they do with it. I know a lot of people aren't crazy about remakes, but I always have a tendency to like them, a lot of them anyway. From there, I want to turn to an animated film and another crossover. This time it's a movie that combines comic book heroes with Lovecraftian horror. Batman, the Doom that came to Gotham, finds the Caped Crusaders, circa the 1920s, confronted by cosmic horrors. It's due for release on video on March 28th and features a cast of voices that includes Star Trek Voyager's Tim Russ, along with Jeffrey Combs, who is known for Star Trek as well, playing many roles. In the case of Combs, though, he's also well known for horror movies, particularly Stuart Gordon's Lovecraft adaptations, so it seems very appropriate for him to be included in a movie that has a Lovecraft connection. There are, of course, lots of other folks providing voices. Those two names just have special significance for me, so I mentioned them. Next, we'll turn our attention to television. The first story is about the spooky comedy Ghosts. Now, that show is based on a British comedy with the same title. It's also consistently running neck and neck with Young Sheldon for the title of the most popular comedy on TV. So, it's no surprise that it has been renewed for a third season on CBS. 2 cable network shows have also been renewed. USA Sci-Fi's Chucky series has been signed up for a third season. The show, based on the pint-sized killing doll of movie fame, is definitely pleasing fans. Similarly, Sci-Fi's horror comedy Reginald the Vampire has been renewed for a second season. From network TV, let's move to streaming services. Another show that's been renewed is the show Wednesday. Now, for those not in the know, that's the new Addams Family-based show on Netflix. It's become a big hit for the streaming service, so again, its renewal is no surprise. That brings us to 2 final pieces of news, both of which are of the sad variety. First, I was just talking about the new Wednesday series. Well, Lisa Loring, the woman who played Wednesday in the old 1960s Addams Family TV series, has passed away at 64 years of age. Her death came after a massive stroke that left her on life support. If you're a fan of the original Stephen King miniseries Salem's Lot, you are probably familiar with Lance Kerwin. For people of my age group, though, he's probably better known for the drama series James at 15, which became James at 16 the next year. Kerwin's spot in horror fandom was cemented with that Salem's Lot show, though. He recently passed away at 62 years of age. No cause of death was given. May they both rest in peace. That unfortunate news brings us to the end of the video. As always, though, I'll take a look at our spooky calendar to give you some pertinent dates. If you ever want to check out the calendar, you can find it on our main page at spookyventures.com. Just scroll down toward the bottom of the page for the link. You'll see a picture of a calendar there. Looking at that calendar, you'll see that tomorrow, February 4th, is Alice Cooper's birthday. Sure, he's a rocker, but he's definitely into the spooky stuff. Sunday the 5th is John Carradine's birthday. Lon Chaney Jr.'s is on the 10th. The writer Richard Matheson's birthday is the 20th. There are a number of movies opening this month. I'm not going to list them all, but the one that really has me excited is Winnie the Pooh Blood and Honey, which opens on the 15th of the month. That brings us to the end of this spooky news. I'll be back sometime next month with the next edition, or at least that's the plan. In the meantime, you'll find lots of new videos popping up here on the Spooky Ventures channel. If you want to find some cool Spooky Ventures merch, be sure to check out our Cafe Press store at cafepress.com/spookyventures. Remember that the sources for all the articles in this video will be shown after I'm done talking here, but you can also find them in the details section. Most importantly, remember to always keep it spooky. Spooky Ventures is the home for spooky content and spooky merchandise on the web. Check it out today at spookyventures.com. And remember, always keep it spooky.